Man, 2023 was a year.
It sure was.
Are we live?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
are. I think.
Oh. Is this thing on?
This thing's on loud and clear. So, it's
God.
time for Gaming Stooges 2023 year in review, baby.
Baby.
Because as we do every year, we wait like a whole month before we actually do our year in review to give everybody time to actually establish things that came out in 2023. Unlike the Game Awards, which will do everything a month early.
Like any publication that does like top end of year lists will do a month early.
Yep. But we decide we're cool, so we're going to do everything a month late as usual. So we've got a long list of games that came out this year. And the last few years, this is what we've been doing. We're just going to run through every month, just month by month, and go through the releases. We're going to smash or pass. Like, it's a podcast staple. If we want to talk about it, we can. If we don't want to talk about it, we can say pass.
I'm gonna smash that whooper.
Jack has an emotional support whooper with us because I'm sure that he's going to need it.
Al pointed out the whooper, so I had to show it off. The whooper.
So yeah, we are going to go over the games that came out this year, and then we're also going to go back afterwards and just kind of talk about whatever games we played this year, even if they didn't come out in 2023. But let's go ahead and jump right in. We've got January, which we've got quite a lot of bullet points. Now, these notes, the preliminary lists I made, and then Landon basically added some extra stuff that I missed and cleaned everything up afterwards. So the first thing that came out was a Dead Space remake on modern platforms. You got PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. That came out on January 2nd.
Pass.
You got One Piece Odyssey, which came out on all modern platforms on January 13th.
Ooh, the sequel to Dragon Ball Kakarot.
Pass. I didn't play that.
Oh, I thought this was the sequel to Mario Odyssey. Damn, I got the wrong series.
The Odyssey series is really fucked up. It actually goes Super Mario Odyssey, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, One Piece Odyssey,
and then Assassin's Creed
Odyssey. And then Abe's Odyssey.
Yeah, but I don't know how they got Dragon Ball Z Kakarot mixed in there.
just is. The next thing that happened was Google Stadia closed down on January 18th.
Smash.
That's good.
People got refunded for that shit.
That's good news. And by good news, I mean who didn't see this coming? Like, Stadia was sputtering out of the gate. Like, this was doomed to fail. I'm surprised it lasted this long.
Unfortunately, there's now a bunch of dead media.
Yep.
So because I don't know if it's good news.
Yeah, they did manage to get some stuff that is only on Stadia and now doesn't exist. It's gone. Cool. There was two major instances of Persona games being brought to modern systems. We had Persona 4 Golden finally getting released outside of Steam. So you can get it on Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. And Persona 3 Portable, yes, Portable, came out on all modern platforms. You got PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, you got Xbox One, Xbox Series X. That was on the 19th. I already had Persona 4 Golden, and I didn't have the money to get like Persona 5 Royal. I think I was gonna get on another system, and I'm not interested in Persona 3 Portable. And I mean, this podcast is being like recorded right around the release of Persona 3 Reload anyway. So like, what the fuck's the point?
It's coming up. You know, that's exactly why I didn't pre-order the limited run games Switch release for Persona 3 Portable, because it's like, it's Persona 3 Portable. Like, it doesn't even have the FES content. It's a bad port from what I've heard. And Persona 3 Reload is just around the corner. So
yeah. From what I heard,
ordered it because I wanted to.
Yeah. From what I heard,
it's funny.
The like the bad part about it was like they just they like messed up like audio and like graphic presentation, like with like sound balancing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, apparently it's even worse than the PSP version, which, not saying the PSP's version's bad, it's like somehow they messed up a modern port of a PSP game. Moving on, we got Fire Emblem Engage that came out on the 20th, a single day later on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, pass.
Classic.
You said
Haven't played it
pass.
Pass. Yeah, pass.
He's smashing, but he's saying pass.
Yeah.
I didn't-
Classic. I haven't played it yet.
I didn't get
Classic.
I didn't get to play Engage. How do you feel about it, Landon?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was a good game. People disliked it because it for some reasons, but I liked it because it was fun.
It was fun. I heard the gameplay solid.
I think a lot of people. Well, it has a okay story. And that's like it's a serviceable Fire Emblem story, and some of the characters look funny because they have toothpaste hair. But I like the game, so that's the end of that.
Right. Forspoken came out on PC and PS5 on January 24th.
Who put this on the list?
The biggest cast on the entire list.
I put it here because it was a notable release, but not in a good way. It was just...
It was a notable release in that everybody made fun of it for a few weeks, and it was pretty funny.
Exactly.
Not the game itself.
I think I put this on the list.
Really? I thought I did.
No, you put some other funny ones on there, but I think I put this one on there.
Okay.
The funniest thing to come out of the Forspoken, just anything with Forspoken, was the Donkey video for Forspoken, where he showed like maybe half a second of gameplay and then just decided to play Spider-Man 2 instead.
Damn. The next day we got the release of Hi-Fi Rush on PC and Xbox Series X.
I still need to play this.
I've heard this is a good game. I'd like almost never play like new releases on PC, so like I just haven't gotten to it.
Yeah, I'm kind of a pleb. If there's like a chance that it'll be released released on a console physically at some point, then I usually wait for it.
And then sometimes that just never happens. We also got the release the very next day after that for Pizza Tower on PC.
Yeah,
classic.
Good answer, Steve. Classic. Jack? I have played it a little bit.
A little bit? Okay.
Yeah,
You played it before the podcast, actually?
I did, actually.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Like an hour.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah. I
gifted this game to him and he just never got around to playing it.
Yeah, and Cloud was like, you could play it before the stream. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have anything else to do.
Damn, that's actually a good idea.
Yeah. So
it's actually, I mean, don't give me credit. That's not what I said. I said that I'm not sure you'll get to it before the stream, but you should still play it soon. And then apparently you just played it.
No, yeah. I mean, I thought, I had a little bit of time. I figure I could at least like get started on it and get a feel for what it's like. I've only done 3 levels so far, not including the intro level. But it's really fun. I love everything about it presentation wise. The art style is really like crude and like poorly drawn in a very endearing way. Like there's a sound effect for there's probably like 10 sound effects for like literally everything, and they're all very like cartoonish and goofy. Like it feels like if you took Ed and Eddie and like took that like entire aesthetic and made a Wario Land game, because structurally it is just a Wario Land game. Like you go through a level, try and get as high of a score as you possibly can, and then you like smash a thing at the end, and then you got to run all the way back to the beginning in a limited amount of time. Like it's exactly like Wario Land, but like I'm not complaining because I love Wario Land 4 and it's exactly that. It has not to talk about this too much because I've only played it for like an hour, but like it's really good.
I'm glad to hear it. I am glad to hear it. That was all of the stuff that came out or happened in January. Moving on to February, The first release of the month was actually a stealth drop of Metroid Prime Remastered on February 8th. Nintendo did a direct that day, and they just said, guess what? We got a really cool remaster of Metroid Prime coming. Guess what? You can actually just get it right now. And then they released it physically later that month. I don't remember the date, and Landon did not actually put it up here.
Because even when it was supposed to come out to retail, it didn't come out to retail, whatever that day was.
True.
Yeah, it was supposed to be it was somewhere in the last week of the month too.
Yeah, but most stores didn't receive it until like a week and a half later.
But it's crazy. It's just crazy how this game, they just announced it and it's yeah, it's out digitally right now. You can go play it. And it's only $40 for a straight up remaster of the original game. And it's nothing but an improvement. We did a whole stream for this game. I had a great time. This is still one of my favorite games ever, despite the hunt for that missile, which took hours of my life.
We went through a whole stream of Grandia 2 with Metroid Prime Remastered in the background, and he couldn't find it.
But yeah, fantastic game, great remaster, and affordable, $40 for one of the best action adventure games ever made. What the fuck?
Yeah. You had anything to add, Landon?
Classic. Haven't played it yet.
All right. The next release was the initial release on current gen for Hogwarts Legacy that came out on February 10th for PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC. It came out later in the year on other platforms. I haven't played this game.
I know Kari's been playing this, right, Landon?
Yep.
How is she liking it?
She enjoys it. She turned it on easy mode, and it's just, it's one of her first actual video games that she's playing. So, but she was getting into the exploration and the combat. So
nice,
cool.
Yeah. Bethany has also been playing Hogwarts Legacy as of late, and she's also really enjoying it. So, take it from our girlfriends. It's a good game.
Yeah.
Mine hasn't played it, and I haven't played it yet either. But I'm kind of interested. I might be won over if it's on a deep discount. I'm not paying $70 for it.
Yeah, same.
The next release that came out, this one's for you, Al. We got Like a Dragon Ishin remake that came out on all modern platforms. You got PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X on February 21st. I know none of us have played this, but I just wanted to mention it.
Al, write in. Tell us what you think. We'll talk about it in the next podcast.
PlayStation,
even though he's here live.
PlayStation,
we're going to talk about it in the next podcast.
Yeah, PlayStation VR 2 actually came out on the 22nd, so that was a new hardware release. And yeah, I don't know. I've never had any experience with the PlayStation VR. My VR experience is extremely limited. And I know, Landon, you have a VR headset, but it's not a PSVR 2, and you didn't buy it, you got it.
You mean...
Oh, he's got it right. He's got it right with him, folks.
Wow, he was prepared.
Nice.
Your mic is still muted.
Your mic is muted.
Fuck you, Mike. This sealed MetaQuest Pro.
Nice.
Still sealed.
Still sealed.
We'll see. Maybe one day.
I mean, I have no interest in the PSVR 2. I don't know if you guys want to say anything about it.
Pass.
The 24th of February saw the release of the Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe remake / remaster. Mostly, it is kind of a remake because it adds more content. And yeah, that came out on the 24th. Anybody want to say anything about this game?
I haven't played it yet.
I assume it's good because it's a remake of one of the best Kirby games, but I don't have anything to say about this version specifically.
Yeah, I think like you also just had recently played it with
Yeah, we both played it together.
We
So,
we
like-
played it less than a year before it came out.
Yeah.
So I wasn't like in a hurry to get it again, especially since I still own it for the Wii. So
Right. And then
I
the
bought it.
last What?
Sitting in my to play case.
And then our last major release of the month was Octopath Traveler 2 on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, and PS5 on the 24th.
yes,
Smash.
Landon. Smash.
It's fun.
I was going to say, you've been playing this one a bit.
Yeah, I've been playing it off and on. I put it down for a little bit because other things we'll talk about, and then I picked it back up because of dead space in between things we're going to talk about. But I really enjoy it. I have all like the characters. I've done at least their chapter 1s. I think I've done most of their chapter 2s. Started doing like some of the joint chapters where it's like focusing on 2 characters at once, which is neat. I really like all of the characters in this. They all like all. I enjoyed the story I played out of all of them so far.
Okay.
Nice.
And then moving on to March, we've got quite a few announcements and releases here. The first one, this one's for you, Landon. We got The Legend of Heroes, Trails to Azure on PC, Nintendo Switch, and PS4 on March 14th.
I've been playing that one. I'm at the intermission chapter right now. One day I'll finish it.
How are you liking it so far?
Oh, it's good.
Good.
Like, so many good callbacks. There's like a bunch of characters throughout the series that show up.
You did show off some of that in our Discord server.
Yeah.
I remember now.
I don't think you got far enough into Cold Steel to where, because Cold Steel 1, like some of that takes place during what's like the summer months of Cold Steel 1
Okay.
place like these are like events that are happening at the same time.
Interesting.
So like you see like some of the stuff that happens, and like a lot of the characters from that game. This version specifically, they added characters that were not represented originally. So Toa Herschel shows up in the big trade conference.
Oh, wow.
Because in Cold Steel, she joins Prince Oliver and like goes along with his party. So she's actually present, and then Una Crawford from Cold Steel 3 and 4, one of the Class 7 party members from there. She's a child. She's younger. She's like just joining the police academy at Crossbell.
Okay.
So you get to interact with her. So they did some cool stuff with it. But yeah, there's like some of the more normal stuff. You got a bunch of like the high end people. Father Kevin shows up at the beginning.
Father Kevin.
Father fucking Kevin.
One of the
Shout
best
outs
characters.
to the Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel. I don't know why I shouted that one out. Not one of the games he's in.
Not the Trails in the Sky games that he actually like shows up.
Not second chapter or the third, but
nope.
Shout out to Clouds.
Not the game that he's the main character for. Trails of the Third in the Sky the Third. No. Don't shout that.
But shout out to Clouds, the Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel streams he was doing on his personal Twitch.
Yeah, I got to get back to playing it. I mean, the reason why I stopped was because I tried to back up the save and then like it didn't back up, and then I had to replay parts of pretty much the whole game, and bad.
Well, it could be worse. You could be having to play through a worse game.
True, I could have to play through a bad game.
Yeah.
But moving on, I mentioned that was on March 14th, so like everything that happened in March was in the back half of the month. We had the release of Bayonetta Origins, and forgive my pronunciation, I have no idea how you pronounce this, Syriza and the Lost Demon on Nintendo Switch on March 17th. You have a game called Have a Nice Death that came out originally on March 22nd on PC and Nintendo Switch. Came out later in the year on everything else. I'm pretty sure that neither of these are relevant to anyone here.
Oh,
I just threw them up
this
there.
yeah, this was on your list.
We got the Resident Evil 4 remake that came out on PC, PS4, PS5, and Xbox Series X on March 24th.
I have not touched this, but I've heard it's really good.
I mean,
I
yeah,
don't have
I was
anything
gonna
to say
say,
about
yeah, it feels like it's been so long ago, but that was like the big game people were talking about for a little while when it came out.
Yeah. Al
Uh,
says RE4 remake is great, and I
right.
take his word for it.
And then, sadly, unfortunately, a few days later on March 27th, there was the closure of the Wii U and 3DS eShops. Rest in peace.
Bad answer, Steve.
3DS, man, that's still like one of my favorite systems of all time. Like the internet for its service is going to be going down on April 8th coming up, so like salute to that.
We
3DS
need
was a
to do
trooper.
Cloud, if you have a way to stream it, we should absolutely play Mario Kart 7 one last time. Or wait, are the servers shut down or
The servers are going down on April 8th.
so it is still possible to play games with each other through the
Yes,
3DS. Okay.
that is
Just wanted to
the
make sure.
service that's going down. The internet
Then
connection closure is on April 8th.
we definitely need to do like one last like run through every course of Mario Kart 7 before it goes down.
I could do that. I have the means to do that. I mentioned on the
Hell yeah.
Discord server. I just have to get it set up. So I mean, we could do it.
Do you want to read the editor's note on that one?
Yes. Oh yeah. And by the way, here's something really sad. The same day that this closure was happening, because I had Warren Landon, he goes to try to get his Wii U booted up, and it's dead. It's gone. It just doesn't fucking work.
It was real badass.
The day that this happened, this could not have been on a worse time.
It's just really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Landon's Wii U.
He still has the Wii U, so if there ever is a means that he finds out of like being able to try to pull the data off of it, like he still has it. It's just he can't get it started.
And for a long time, you were buying like digital only on the Wii U. Like the only game that you had physically, I think, was Wind Waker for like the longest time.
I had well, obviously Nintendo Land because they gave you that physically, and then I bought before I even like knew I was going to get a Wii U on launch day. I pre-ordered a copy of Sonic and Sega All Stars Racing Transform.
Oh, okay.
And then it just happened I got a Wii U on launch day, which was funny on my part. But yeah, until the Wind Waker came out, those were the only physical games I had for it.
And like even after you got Wind Waker, it was still like just those three for a long time. So like there was a lot.
Yeah.
There was a lot on that Wii U that just got fucking wiped.
The next,
but we'll go into that more, I think, in 2 podcasts from now.
Yeah. Later on that month, we got Dredge released on pretty much every platform available right now: PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X on March 30th. And then on March 31st, the day before April Fool's, totally not joking, we got The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog on Steam. I
still haven't played that.
They just straight up put like and apparently it's pretty damn good. Like,
Jack, why haven't you streamed that yet?
Honestly, great question. It's free, isn't it?
I think so. Like, I'm pretty sure it is.
Pretty sure it's on my Steam list right now.
No, it definitely is, because I remember, I think I redeemed it. I just never played it yet.
Yeah, it's literally in my library right now.
Yeah.
I just need to play it.
Fucking Sonic month this year, baby. June.
Yeah. Yep.
We could.
I was going to say,
I mean, that's an idea.
Yeah, save it for June. Do it for Sonic month. We have Sonic month every year.
No, we don't.
You know what's a bigger April Fool's joke than the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog? The first episode of the Gaming Stooges Talks podcast. That's right.
Yeah.
We started our podcast, and the first episode went out everywhere on March 31st.
Yeah.
That's this podcast.
That's the one you're listening to.
Hey, that's pretty
right
cool.
now.
Yeah,
I can't believe that got into the notes.
So that was all of March. April, we once again pretty much all back half stuff, but we had the release of Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection. So I'm sure the Mega Man Battle Network fans are pretty happy about that.
Cool.
Capcom sometimes remembers that they have fans of Mega Man, and then they put like a collection of like 5+ games, and then they're like, here you go. We're not making a new one though. That came out on PC, Nintendo Switch, and PS4 on April 14th. As in addition to Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection, we also got the console release of the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters on Nintendo Switch and PS4 on April 19th. So finally, after like way too long of waiting, we finally got all of the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters, which have been generally well regarded, released on platforms that most of us actually care about and will play these games on if we care about them. AKA probably just me and maybe Jack for Final Fantasy VI, and that's it.
But I own this collection physically for the Switch.
You do, because they did do a physical release, but not an official one. It was like Play Asia, right? They had like a... No, it was Japan only, right?
No. So there was a physical US release that was only sold through the Square Enix store.
Okay.
Impossible to get. I still ordered mine off of Play Asia.
Gotcha. Okay, all right.
It was easier to do that. But there was a US release through the Square Enix store.
It was like a special release. But yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that makes more sense than like them not doing that, because like Square does that all the time, actually. They just like sell games on their store.
But what if, instead of that, they had done a standard retail release where you could just buy it in a store?
Because they didn't want to. Because they didn't want to cut the price down to retail price for it. Because that's basically the only reason why. Because the collections,
they could have sold it at $80. Dumbasses would have bought it.
Maybe it's just from my experience, when I was working in my department at work, like we would get like certain like collections like that in, and they would almost never sell. So like I think it was probably just a thing where they didn't want to like put it out. Maybe it was also because like if they wanted people to buy it in retail, they would have had to price it at $60, but they didn't want to cut the price. And if they had put it out at retail at the price that they were actually selling it for, they probably would not have sold that many copies. So, I mean, shipping it out is a cost.
I think they're cowards.
You think they're cowards? Fair enough. Mm-hmm. More and more re-releases, remasters, remakes this month. We got Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp finally came out on April 21st.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. This game was pushed back, for those who don't know, because the release that it was, even though it's not like 100% like connected at all to this whatsoever, because it does involve war, and it was scheduled to come out at a certain point, there was the war in Ukraine that broke out. So they knew that would have been tasteless, so they pushed it back, and we were just waiting, and they finally decided to just send it out April 21st this past year. Landon has this game. You want to talk about it?
But I'm eating a cookie right now.
Well, we're doing a podcast right now.
Yeah. We're doing a podcast, and neither me or Jack have this game, so you're the only one that's going to talk about it.
But
okay. Cookie.
Well, the cookie will be there when you come back.
No, it won't, because I'll eat it.
It will. Set it
the
down.
Whooper will eat it.
The Whooper will do no such thing.
Hold it while you talk about Advance Wars.
That was my plan. I just had to get enough cookie out of my mouth to be able to speak.
Got it.
Anyway, Advance Wars 1+2 is really cool. It has good art, and I like it. It has a map editor, and that's cool too, I guess. I don't know. I never used that.
That was a feature in the original game. I liked having it. It's fun.
Yeah. I played through the entirety of the first campaign. Because you get campaigns for the first two. That's why it's Advance Wars 1+2. Wow. I played through the campaign of the first one, really enjoyed it, and then I played through like 60% of the second campaign, and I was like, that's cool. I'm going to move on to something else because that's a lot of Advance Wars.
It is kind of more of the same when you get into Advance Wars 2. And not saying it's bad, it's good. It's just like
Yeah.
at some point you're just going to be like, man, I think I've had my fill.
I mean, the cool thing about Advance Wars 2 is you get to play as the other nations.
Right.
So you're not just playing as the one nation the whole time as Orange Star, but you get to play as the other nations with their other commanders, which is fun. But I don't know. I just kind of I hit that point where I was like, either I'm going to get frustrated and burn myself out, or I could stop now and still enjoy the game and come back to it later.
Fair.
So
Yeah.
April 25th saw the release of Trinity Trigger on PC,
That's my birthday.
Nintendo Switch, PS4, and PS5.
I played that game too.
Yeah, you
Did
played
you?
that game too. Yeah, he actually literally said in the Discord just the other day, he was like, he's something Trinity Trigger, like he was talking about how he was getting to it.
Oh.
I had already played it, so I bought this game when it came out as a stopgap in between, because I didn't start Advance Wars until later in the year. It was like between something and whatever. Tears of the Kingdom. I really want to eat this cookie. Fuck. Trinity Trigger is like Secret of Mana, but like super like low budget.
Okay.
It's fine, but I played it for like 8 hours, and I don't want to play it anymore. I'm done.
Damn.
Yeah. Okay.
You can play co-op. I think if I was playing co-op with people, it would be more fun.
That's true. Okay. All right.
Can I eat my cookie now?
Yes,
What are you going to talk about next?
Because the next game that we're going to talk about came out on April 26th, and that was the initial PC release of Cassette Beasts.
Oh, thank God. That's my birthday, though.
Yeah. So Cassette Beasts would later be released on Xbox and Nintendo Switch on May 25th, but it came out on Steam on April 26th, and it's basically like, it's a monster raising, monster collecting, monster battling RPG. So it's like Pokemon, Dragon Quest monsters, like all that stuff. It is mostly more towards like the Pokemon end, where it's like very element based and, evolving creatures in a way that's like more similar to Pokemon. But the interesting thing is that it's done through like these cassette players, and they scan the creature and you become the creature. Like you as the character, because you have your character that you play as, actually become the monster, and everything's pretty much double battles once you get to a certain point. It is
That's just Digimon bullshit.
Yeah, it does have like a Digimon aspect to it because of the cassettes, right? Because like you use the
and you becoming the thing.
Yeah, exactly. So it's it's got some Digimon in there.
That's some Digimon season 3 bullshit, or whatever it was.
Something I like about the game is that the battle system, while it does have like the double battles similar to Pokemon, the actual mechanics are not like that close. Because like you have, so each of your cassette beasts will have like an AP gauge that fills up, and you get like so many points every turn. And then you have a list of attacks, and like certain ones will cost more AP. Some moves don't actually cost any AP. Usually you're like your basic attack and guarding. So your choice is to either try to continually use AP moves, but never really get like enough for like the higher and stronger ones, or using like basic stuff like defending and just regular attacks. And then you can build up a gauge to do like more powerful stuff later on in a fight. And yeah, you can do both of do that for both of your characters. There's also fusions between the two monsters that you have out in a given time. It's pretty interesting. It's kind of wild. The story basically revolves around, I haven't played a ton of it. I really need to get back to it. But without spoiling it, it's basically you've like wound up washed ashore in this world that like it's almost like isekai, but I don't know if it's an isekai because like I think it's not really mentioned whether the character is just from a different area or from a different world from how much I've played. But they're trying to get home. They're trying to like get out of wherever they're trapped in. And they meet all these characters along the way. They find out that there's these like archangel monsters that are causing problems for the area, and you gotta basically, deal with those. Not gonna get too far into it, but I will say I do like it quite a lot. It's got a very like Generation 5 DS Pokemon art style to it with like the pixel art. So it's pretty cool. I think that if you are into those kind of games, Cassette Beasts is like probably one of the better games to come out of that genre, and arguably one of the better games that's come out all last year. So, I mean, I give it a thumbs up. Did you have anything to say, Jack? I don't think you've touched this game yet.
Nope.
And
nope, not me.
Landon's already let us know how, his side of things. He got to eat cookie.
I ate cookie.
On the same day we had the release of Honkai Star Rail on PC, iOS, and Android. It's the next game from MiHoYo, the people that made Genshin Impact. Next.
I didn't understand a word you just said.
Next. And then finally, on April 28th, there was the release of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Sorry. That was on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. No.
Cool.
Nothing. Moving on. We got the month of May. There was like one thing that came out worth talking about in May. We'll get to it. Everything else is But on May 2nd, this is not the game I was referring to.
This is the game he was referring to.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
There was a game called Age of Wonders 4 that came out on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. And
that's it, baby.
On the same
Smash.
on the same day, we got the release of Redfall for PC and Xbox Series X.
Double smash.
No. I haven't touched either of these, and I know that neither of you have. So
no, but I watched a donkey video about Redfall.
So
True.
We're going to move on to the actual release. The actual release for May. On May 12th on Nintendo Switch, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom came out.
That's a video game.
That's a video game that came out. We reviewed that game on a previous podcast.
We have a whole reviewed podcast. Go listen to that one.
I don't recall this video game.
You don't recall fuck. This video game?
He's holding up a copy of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom for the listeners.
No, I don't. I don't think I have that.
Damn.
Oh, weird.
So, I mean, yeah, you can basically listen to. We did a whole podcast on it. But did anybody want to just kind of summarize thoughts real quick, or just direct them to that podcast?
It adds 3 things: caves, the sky, and under the ground.
And building shit.
I don't care about that. All right, you can remove the underground. It adds caves, sky, building shit.
Yeah. The world of Hyrule definitely feels a lot more like dynamic in this game, but
it's huge.
It's huge. It's huge.
It's fucking huge. I need to get back to it. It's a great game. It was like a pretty much unanimously considered one of the best games that came out this year. It felt like less of an event than Breath of the Wild, mostly because it's just like Breath of the Wild 1.5, but like not that that's a bad thing, but like, it's very, very similar to Breath of the Wild. And like,
so Breath of the Wild came out with a system.
True.
So I think that's going to be an event in and of itself.
But still, great game. Thumbs up. Go listen to the podcast.
This next entry I put here as a meme because I didn't realize they made a video game for that freaking VTuber Kizuna Ai. Like they made a game for her. I don't know why, but there's a game called Kizuna Ai Touch the Beat for PC, Nintendo Switch, and PS4.
I literally do not give a shit about VTubers, honestly. I don't know any of their names except for like 2 of them.
This is one of the only ones I know about. She's the one that wears like the white and pink and has like the long brown hair. She was like one of the first like popular ones.
Oh, like the dog one? Does she have like dog ears, kinda?
No.
Okay, never mind. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Don't listen to me. I don't fucking follow VTubers.
I mean, to be fair, so like she would when she started out, like her account wasn't like what VTubers do, which is usually have them in front of a game and playing games. She was like doing like blog style videos. So like she would like,
oh, that one. I know that one.
Yeah. So yeah, apparently she got a game. I don't know why. Moving on.
When is the Gaming Stooges VTuber? And when is the game about the Gaming Stooges VTuber?
Good question.
The gaming Lennon is going to make a VTuber model that's just Lexine.
Al says she's been old news for a long time. True. Like, true. The last release for May was a disaster. On May 20th,
we already talked about Redfall.
On May 25th, there was The Lord of the Rings Gollum as well. God.
Whoa.
Tears of the Kingdom was really just
yes. Yeah, God, yes. Like, okay, unironically, I missed having really, really bad licensed games. And it's so funny seeing people dunk on this like shitty Gollum game where you play as like the worst piece of shit in the universe and everybody hates you. And like, this is a PS5 game in the year 2023 that they charged how much money for?
Pretty sure it was full retail price.
I think Jesus it was 50.
Christ. Oh, almost
50.
Full,
okay, that's not as bad, but still.
That's $10 more than Metroid Prime Remastered.
I have not played this game, but I've seen enough gameplay footage to know that it looks like shit. I can't say that it is shit, but it looks like shit.
Smells like shit.
So moving on to June, we've got quite a few. We actually have quite a few releases in June worth noting. The first one of these, Pixel is not here, but this one was for her. We got the Atrian Odyssey Origins Collection released on PC and Nintendo Switch on June 1st. There was the release of Street Fighter 6 on PC, PS4, PS5, and Xbox Series X on June 2nd. I haven't played it yet. There was the release of We Love Katamari Reroll and Royal Reverie. So we had a follow-up to Katamari Damacy Reroll. That came out on pretty much everything. PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. Also on June 2nd.
I still need to buy We Love Katamari Reroll because it's like it's just as good as the original game, if not better.
Ooh, now I gotta get it. There was also
really good.
There was on the so the next like 2 weeks there was like nothing, and then on June 20th there was a release of Crash Team Rumble, which is like a I don't know, man. I mean, I guess it's like one of like the party game style kind of games. It came out on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. It's sure.
Yeah, if your party is online only.
Yeah, it's literally online only. You can't play it offline. So like
that's funny.
So it's Crash Bash, but worse.
Amazing.
Somehow they did it. The next day on Nintendo Switch, June 21st, June 21st was the release of Pikmin 1+2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good answer, Steve.
Did you guys want to say anything about Pikmin 1+2 or just
it's game? Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 2 on the Switch.
Yeah.
What's not to love?
Yeah, Jack needs to let's play.
I need to buy that.
He needs to let's play. something, and then
What
stream
something?
Pikmin 1.
I need to make my return to Let's Plays.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what you're going to Let's Play, but you have to stream Pikmin 1.
Okay. I
Yeah.
will one day. I love Pikmin 1.
There's the next day on June 22nd was the release of Final Fantasy 16 exclusively on PS5. I played this a bit. It's pretty good. Yeah. That's it.
Should I play it?
I don't think you'll care for it.
Okay. I own it. So should I play it?
It's definitely more action oriented, and the story's kind of like Game of Thrones but Final Fantasy, so probably not.
Is there sex involved?
From what I know, like there's not an on-screen scene, but there's like implied quite a few times.
You know, the only reason that Game of Thrones exists is because of sex, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
True. So yeah. The next day there was the DLC update, Sonic Origins Plus, adding in Amy as a playable character. And like a bunch of Game Gear games again. That was on Sonic's birthday on June 23rd on everything that Sonic Origins is on. So PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X.
I have to type that every single time.
Yeah. But I have to say it. You wrote it, so I have to say it. Curse you. But yeah,
you asked for it.
I don't think I even got the Plus upgrade for the game yet. Like I'm gonna go back and do it, but like I heard playing as Amy's fun.
I bought the collection. I think the worst thing about this, if you bought the physical release, is all of the Plus shit is on a download voucher. Why wait to do a physical release for Origins if you're not going to put it all on the fucking
that was
physical media?
That was a silly release idea, because they could have just released Sonic Origins physically months ago. Like the game had come out at literally a year before.
Yeah, literally a year before. We could have bought it, and then you could have been like, well, here's an update. Give me $10.
But
come on, Sega.
But no, instead they decided to put off their physical release till now and didn't even put the new content that they were pushing it back for on the cartridge and disc. Okay. Moving on, we got the release of Everybody Want to Switch on Nintendo Switch on June 30th.
And there was much rejoicing.
I just played this game.
The only thing I have to say about this game before you say anything about like how you felt about it is just the name Everybody Want to Switch is just making me feel like this game is going to become a series where it goes through the 5 stages. So like right now it's like anger, it's like everybody want to switch, and then bargaining is going to be like please want to switch,
everybody want to switch.
And then like acceptance is like nobody want to switch. But yeah, that's a joke that I made, so I'm proud of that. But Landon, how did you actually feel about the game? Did you play the first one?
No, I didn't play the first one. I played this one because it was at the conference I was at,
right,
and they were handing out t-shirts for people who played it. So I went up against Keegan, and we both like did mini games.
Nice.
In it, like I think we did like 2 or 3. There's like a balloon one where you're trying to fill the balloon up without popping it, and then like whoever gets it the closest wins. I lost, so I hate the game. It was kind of bad. Really shitty. They didn't even have the shirt in my size.
Oh, that's
what
bullshit.
The fuck.
Bullshit. And then the last release of June, which is pretty notable for you guys, Ghost Trick Phantom Detective on June 30th.
Yeah.
For PC,
Great Ace Attorney.
For PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, and Xbox One.
Didn't have a physical release outside of Japan. Fuck you, Capcom.
Still got it. There's a Sarah.
Again.
Yep.
He's got a physical copy.
Mine's downstairs.
Go watch the Great Ace Attorney VODs. I literally could not stop myself from saying Great Ace Attorney VODs. Go watch the Ghost Trick Phantom Detective VODs as well. They're pretty funny.
It's pre-programmed into our speech pattern now. Anytime we say go watch,
it's immediately followed. It's like predictive text. If you type in go watch, the next words are gonna be the Great Ace
Attorney
etc.
VODs. Did you want to say anything else though about Phantom Detective?
It almost destroyed my throat.
Because you picked like the shrillest voice you could possibly make for like the second most prominent character in the game.
It was amazing.
Yeah. But no, this is a fantastic game. It's a very fun story. It's a really unique gameplay idea. It's a good, I guess, remaster of the DS game. It feels very natural to play with a controller. The characters are great. The dialogue is funny because it's just an Ace Attorney game in terms of writing. The characters, like, despite most of them not having names, are all really memorable. Maybe just because we gave them all goofy voices, but you know, it was fun.
It was a great time.
This was like technically not a game that came out this year. I mean, this version of it came out this year, but it was like one of my favorite games that I played this year.
Great. And moving on to July, the first release. This one's another one for Landon. We got July 7th, the release of The Legend of Heroes, Trails in Reverie. PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, and PS5.
Classic. Haven't played it yet.
Because he's still playing through Azure.
Maybe one day. I'm hoping I can fucking... My God, you know what? Sidebar real quick. They fucking dumped so many
They spoiled you this year.
Games.
We're gonna get... There's another one coming up later in the podcast. Like, they
fucking September of 2022. 0. Fucking March... Azure, fucking July or whatever. We're on June, July.
We're on July.
July. Reverie, fucking later.
We got another one. We'll talk about it. We'll get there.
Yeah, Nayuta. Fucking later this year in, I think, March. Trails for Daybreak. How the fuck am I supposed to keep up with all this shit?
Trails for 100 years.
Trails for 1,000 million years. God damn
it. We got the release on June 12th of Oxenfree 2 on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5.
Pause.
The text chat is not updating on stream.
And then it randomly did. That's weird.
Okay. Resume.
Okay.
Unpause.
That was weird. When I clicked over on the chat, it just refreshed immediately. I have no idea why that happened. So, anyway, we're going to move on to the... So, yeah, we had Oxenfree 2. Did anybody play this game, buy this game?
Nope.
I played the first one. Waiting for a physical release, probably, of this one.
And on the 18th, on iOS and Android, we got the release of Pokemon Sleep.
What a funny video game. A game that's literally unsafe to play.
Yep.
It's a fire hazard.
Would you like to burn your house down and die while you sleep?
Yeah. Yes.
I mean,
Perfect.
I'm pretty sure
I have the app for you.
I'm pretty sure that the game will run in the background on your phone, but you're not supposed to charge your phone overnight. And that's it. You're probably going to have to if you have that on. So, like, I don't know. But, like, there is... It's weird. It is an idle game on mobile where you just catch Pokemon. Okay, I guess. I don't know. 3 days later, though, on Nintendo Switch, on July 21st, we got Pikmin 4.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Classic. Have not played it yet.
God damn it, Jack.
Ooh.
I'm sorry.
Jack's had this year where it's just been like, I got it. Haven't played it yet. Been a busy year
Defend
for Jack.
yourself, Jack.
I can't. It's true.
Why did you not play this game?
You know,
Give me 5 good reasons for me not to walk over there right now and slap the shit out of you.
for one, I procrastinated on getting it. I got this as a Christmas present, actually.
Not a good reason. Keep it going.
It's not. Shit, man.
You're gonna get the
don't have a
shit
good
slapped out of you.
Oh no. Why don't you talk about Pikmin 4 then?
Oh,
Yeah, talk about Pikmin 4.
oh, fucking instant classic. Oh my god, it is so fun. It is, I think, dare I say, the best Pikmin game.
I've heard a lot of people say that.
I think so. I'm inclined to agree with them. You add a cool new, like, there's a couple new types. They brought back a lot of the classics. You got, your classic 3 Pikmin. You got purple and white, but then you've got and they brought back flying Pikmin from Pikmin 3. And then you've got rock Pikmin, new type, and then you've got the funny weed Pikmin that are ghosts. Those are really cool. Yeah, no, they have like enough like different types of gameplay that it keeps it fresh. So you have nighttime playing now, which is more of a tower defense. And then you've got your normal daytime. But then also, just like probably the smallest thing, they added like a rewind feature where it like will give you save, like you can like rewind during the day you're playing to just like kind of like fix mistakes as you go.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it. It's fantastic. Get on it.
I'm not gonna lie,
Both of you.
I've never played a Pikmin game, but recently I've kind of been wanting to get into it.
4 is a super easy one to get into, I would say, because especially since you're not on a time limit like the first one and number 3. Both of those have time limits. Number 1 is a hard time limit. Number 3 is a soft time limit, but both of them do. Number 2 is still really good, but I would say it is hard. It's very challenging, so not as accessible.
It's kind of like the fans Pikmin, not like a beginner's Pikmin to play.
Yeah. Whereas I think 3 is an easy one to get into, but if you fart around too much, you can starve to death.
Okay.
But this one, you do not have to worry about like time being a thing. All you have to do is just enjoy yourself.
All right, perhaps after my taxes come in, that's a purchase I might make then.
Yeah, it is. And then we get to do the Pikmin 4 podcast because Jack will have to play it if we say there's a podcast for it.
There's so many games I have to pick up, but I mean, that might be one I might be looking into. The next release that came out on July 28th was Disney Illusion Island on Nintendo Switch.
Pass.
Okay. And then, guys, this is important. But on Apple Arcade, we got a release on July 28th for Hello Kitty Island Adventure. The prophecy has been fulfilled. I wish it could have been released on things that weren't Apple Arcade.
Do you actually wish that?
Yes, actually. It looks kind of fun. It's literally just like Animal Crossing, but you can swim underwater and there's Hello Kitty characters. Like that's it. These guys are looking at me funny.
I'm not looking at you funny. I'm just looking at Landon. Landon's like mean mugging Cloud.
Yeah.
I'm looking at me funny because I'm staring at myself.
Hey, listen, this is Butter's favorite video game.
Exactly.
So that's all you need to know.
Why didn't you lead with that, Cloud?
Yeah. He was playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
God damn it, Butters.
But that's all for July. Moving on to August, the first major release was the initial PC release of Baldur's Gate 3 on August 3rd. Too bad Pixel isn't here to gush over that game in the chat because we are just gonna probably move on.
None of us played it.
This
Let
Baldur's
me know
Gate
when it
isn't really my
comes out
thing.
for this. Let me know when it comes out for the Switch, and then I still
I've s-
probably won't play it.
Baldur's Gate isn't really my thing, so yeah, no thanks.
On August 13th, I had to fix this because Landon put the wrong date, but I think it was
Did
just,
I?
yeah, you put July 13th. August 13th, there was the release of Toho 19, and I'm going to butcher the shit out of this name. Toho Juyuoen, Unfinished Dream of All Living Ghosts. It's the newest Toho game, but I didn't care for like getting into it. I know Al played a bit of it. I just didn't touch it because it's not a regular Toho shmup. It's like there's a couple of games where like it's a versus shooter. So you have like your screen and then you have an opponent's screen, and they're both playing by like the same rules. And I could not get into the last one, so I knew I wasn't gonna like this one. But it is the newest Toho title, so I decided to throw that in there for Al. Al says it was all right. Okay, cool. Moving on to the next release on August 18th, we had the initial release on, according to Landon's notes, I'm just going to trust him, Nintendo Switch and PC of Bomb Rush Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
I mean, I pulled it off of Wikipedia.
So if this is wrong, then that's Wikipedia's fault.
I mean, the physical release came out in like December. I know that
Yeah.
because that's when I got the physical release.
I waited around. I still haven't played this because I waited for the physical release to come out, and I have not gotten around to buying it.
Well, you
Because
better.
it came out when it came out in a time when I was focusing on bills and Christmas presents instead of myself. So
What do you need to focus on bills and buying me gifts when you could just buy yourself a gift and be like, hey, I bought myself Bomb Rush Cyberpunk for Christmas as your gift? And I'm like, okay.
And there you go.
good to know. Good to know.
The next release on August 25th was Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon. The people that care about this game are not here in our chat, and there's only, I think, like one person on our server and that would care, and
I don't think those people exist.
Justin doesn't
people
exist?
Who care. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that came out on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. I've heard it's good. It's not my thing. Never been an Armored Core fan. But there was on 4 days later on the Nintendo Switch on August 29th, the release of Samba de Amigo Party Central. We got a new Samba de Amigo game. I don't know. I haven't played it. And on the same day,
I have not played it either.
on the same day on all platforms was the initial release, not the physical release. That was this the physical release? No, the physical release was later.
For what?
Sea of Stars. We got PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. Yeah, no, the initial release was digital only on this date on August 29th, if I remember correctly.
The physical release doesn't come out till May 10th of 2024.
That's so much later. But I mean, it is Sea of Stars. It was an indie title that was like, so I mean, makes sense.
It doesn't exist yet until the physical release comes out. Ask me during Year in Review 2024.
True. We got September with a bunch of stuff. The September 5th was the first real notable mention here. This was added by you, Landon. I don't know this game, but on PS4 and PS5 there was Monochrome Mobius, Rights and Wrongs Forgotten.
Fuck do you mean you don't know what this game is?
Monochrome Morbius?
What did I get you for fucking Christmas?
Oh wait, that's right. That's the game? I honestly don't know the name of the game because like the game has like a long ass name when you bring it up and like play it. So I forgot the name of the game. I played I played this game. I didn't realize it. I'm sorry. It's cuz
I added it because I know you played it.
Shows how much I remember. Like I know the game gameplay wise and like a little bit of the story and the characters. I just didn't know the name because like I said, it was such a long name and it was scrolling across on PS5, so it was just like big named RPG game. Cool. But no, this game was pretty fun from what I played. I got to get back to it. It's kind of like a it's a pretty low budget like RPG that's got some like Grandia 2-esque gameplay like to the combat where like you can like mess with the active like gauge for characters and like kind of like pull people back or push people forward to like get their actions delayed or done faster. But otherwise, I mean it's a pretty standard like turn-based RPG with just some added strategy elements to it with that. And I mean, I was enjoying it. The story, I need to get into it more. I know that like they're basically trying to find out why these like people are after them, because like you're playing as this guy who's uh he's just kind of doing his own thing, and there's this girl who is basically a fugitive running from these guys that are after her. And then the guy and the girl end up finding out that they're like blood, and they didn't know that they were like related because the guy's dumbass, to be honest. Like the guy just that like they didn't totally split up like before their memory as like a human would start. Like they're a little bit like older ish. Like it said, I can't remember how many years ago it was, but like they weren't they were like kids, but they weren't that young. And like apparently he just doesn't remember this person. But yeah, no, I mean it was pretty interesting. I got to get back to it to understand the plot more, but the gameplay was pretty good. Nothing like crazy, but you know, pretty solid, pretty fun. Starfield came out on September 6th. Sure, I guess. PC, Xbox Series X.
If you want.
Yeah, sure, if you want that, if that's what you want. There was the
Yeah.
Batten Kaitos 1 and 2 HD remaster on Nintendo Switch on September 14th. I'm not going to lie, the release for this game just kind of came and went. Like, people were kind of hyped about it when it was announced on the Nintendo Direct, and I had no idea the game had even come out before, like, looking up games that came out.
From what I've
oh.
heard, they broke the auto battle mode.
Well, then
Like
there
they
you
added
go.
auto battle, and then like it doesn't work.
Well, then there
Like
you
you
go.
can't win fights with it. So
Yeah. So when you have a re-release that like people aren't really too hyped about, that's what you get. F-Zero got a new game, sort of, with F-Zero 99 on September 14th on Nintendo Switch.
I haven't played it.
It's something, I guess. Better than nothing. I didn't play it. I've heard it's kind of fun, but I mean, it's a 99 style game. So like if you've played like Pac-Man 99, Tetris 99, Mario 35, like it's those kind of games, but F-Zero. But they do have an aspect where like you can upgrade and like earn parts for your car and like customize stuff a bit, but it's still ultimately that kind of game. So if that's up your alley, cool. If not, that's all we got for F-Zero lately. The mobile game Monster Hunter Now was released on September 14th as well. That is basically Pokemon Go, but Monster Hunter. I put this here because it is notable release. Pixel is a big Monster Hunter fan. And my girlfriend played it quite a bit when she was like playing mobile games. She's been taking a break, but she was like big into this game when it came out. But I mean, I have no interest in it personally. If you like Monster Hunter and you were interested in a game that played like Pokemon Go on your phone, that's Monster Hunter, cool. If not, yeah, sure, whatever. There was the release of Bit Trip Rerunner on PC on September 19th. Only PC though. That was the
but
I mean, it did come out. Did it come out later on other stuff? It's not listed here.
no.
So it's yeah.
Maybe one day I'll actually play it. We'll see.
Yeah. Maybe one day it won't be a bullshit game.
Also released on September 19th. There was actually 3 games released that are listed here. This one's for you, Landon. The Legend of Nayuta Boundless Trails on PC and Nintendo Switch and PS4. I played this game too, though, a little bit. I didn't finish it, but I played a bunch of it.
A bunch of it?
A bit of it. I need to play more of it, though.
How many levels did you play through?
I don't remember. I didn't play that much of it.
Did you beat the first boss?
I think I did. I feel like I did.
Is the giant golem guy that, like, at like the halfway point, his hitbox switches between two different golems. And you're like on a platform that he like smashes.
That sounds familiar.
Okay.
I didn't play a whole lot, but how much of this did you play?
I did a complete first playthrough. Like I did everything you could do in a single playthrough. I enjoyed it. It's not super duper long. Even if I wasn't going for like a completionist run, it was like maybe 30 hours. So it's not that long. It's a fun little action RPG. Yeah, the story's pretty cute. It has some slight references to the Trails series, but it's technically classified as a spin-off. But people are speculating that it is involved more and more with the series, especially after like some of the more recent releases, like Reverie. So we'll see if it actually ties into that canon at all. But it's a fun game.
Okay. Also on the 19th of September, there was a release of Mortal Kombat 1 on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS5, and Xbox Series X. Didn't play it.
The Switch version is funny.
The Switch version is really
it's funny. Yeah.
I haven't played it yet, but one of my best friends bought the Switch version when it came out, and I'm like, oh no.
Sorry
and
for your loss.
Yeah. I mean, she's like a diehard Mortal Kombat fan, and it was the only thing she had to play it on, so rip.
And then at near the end of the month, on September 28th, was the release of Disney Speedstorm, PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. It is a free-to-play kart racer-ish kind of game.
Did you play it yet?
Not yet. I'm going to have to, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why you said yet.
Okay, fine. I've heard it's kind of solid, but like I don't like the kind of like just business model these kind of games have, so it's always hard for me to pick one up. So, I mean, one day.
All you have to do is download it, play one race, and then you can say I've played it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So we'll just move on to October, and there's quite a bit here too. There was the release of Assassin's Creed Mirage on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X on October 5th. It's the next Assassin's Creed game.
Sure.
Of all the Assassin's Creed games to come out this year, it was one of the two of them.
It's not the only one. There was Detective Pikachu Returns on October 6th on Nintendo Switch.
Oh, hold up. We have to talk about Fate Samurai Remnant.
Oh. According to Al, I guess it came out in September, and I didn't list it. Whoops.
Neither did I. But I forgot that he's a Fate guy. Otherwise, I would have listed it.
I did. I honestly did
Al.
too. Despite the fact that I've seen him talk about it, I just forgot.
We're not Fate guys.
Not Fate guys. On October 10th was the release of the new Forza Motorsport on PC and Xbox Series X.
Sure.
The Meta Quest 3 came out on October 10th as well. So you had new VR hardware. Sure.
Sure.
They didn't give that one to me for free. I don't care.
So Landon inserted this here. It was kind of an ongoing thing throughout the year, but major milestone in it. The acquisition of Activision Blizzard by Microsoft was approved by the UK Market Authority on October 13th, which basically helped move them towards being able to close the deal up. And Microsoft owns Activision now. Kind of big. Sure. We don't know what's going to happen yet. Like this is literally just a few months out. Like we don't know what this is going to do to games from them moving forward until a while from now. So it's kind of just hard to judge what this is going to do.
Yeah. Something to keep your eye on. We'll see what happens.
And I mean, the vast majority of stuff that comes out of Activision Blizzard is not stuff we care about. There's going to be a plug Patreon exclusive where we talk about game companies, and man, we have so much to say about Activision Blizzard that is not very positive. We'll just say that.
Go
So,
subscribe to the $6 Silver Stooge tier.
and you'll be able to watch it. It's
Yeah.
I'm gonna have it out sometime in February. I still have to edit it together. I promise it's gonna be out in February though. That is the exclusive for that month. There was the release of God. This game, October 17th, we had Skull Island Rise of Kong for PC and Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. Yet another piece of garbage release in 2023. Just
Hell yeah, baby.
You forgot this one in the original.
I did. Thank you for catching it. I wanted these disasters. I just forgot about this one because it's funny. 2023, if you haven't noticed, has been a year where like there's some incredible like top, and we're gonna get to some of them, like top tier games that came out, and then there's just like shovelware fucking garbage tier worst game ever releases as well.
I'm so glad that they're back. Unironically, I'm so happy just watching people shit on these terrible licensed games.
It's kind of fun. It's been a hot minute.
It's like nature is healing.
Nature is
I
healing.
want to get Skull Island because I think it'd be funny.
That's
it would
fair.
Be funny,
That's
but
fair.
I don't want to spend money to get it.
Also on October 17th was the release of Sonic Superstars, which came out on pretty much everything: PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X.
Yeah, that's a game.
I played through that game. I didn't do the unlockable character story yet. But I played through the main story. Landon, how much did you play? Pretty much the same amount, or did you get to playing like some of the other story?
I haven't played that yet. I was going to play that before the next podcast, though.
We have a podcast where we're going to be talking about this game and a game coming up in a couple of entries, so we'll spend more time talking about that game when we get to that podcast. October 20th also saw the release of Spider-Man 2 on PS5. That's an exclusive. And Super Mario Bros. Wonder on Nintendo Switch. Same day release. That was a game we all streamed. Go watch the Super Mario Bros. Wonder VODs.
Yeah.
Jack,
yeah.
What are your thoughts on Super Mario Wonder?
I was gonna say we are gonna be talking more about this. This is also gonna be in that podcast. We're doing like a double feature review.
Yeah. So gonna keep the thoughts on this one light for now. I will say I'm trying to ignore the last level because it still bugs me that I haven't beaten it yet. I will get to it one day.
Judging by the difficulty, you guys achieved so much just getting as far as you did in that last level.
We got to the very last section. We were so close.
It is considered one of the hardest levels in all of Mario history. So like you guys did
so hard.
much.
It's so hard. But like the rest of the game is great. Like pretty much, I mean, as far as a 2D Mario platformer experience goes, it's a pretty fucking solid one. It's not like on the level of like Mario World and Mario 3, but it's like a step below that.
Yeah. It's like it's super refreshing after like 15 years of just new Super Mario Brothers. Like it's nice to see some like, you know, more like just fresh take on the 2D Mario formula because it still has a lot to offer. And I think Super Mario Bros. Wonder showed that it can still hang out with the big boys today. Like it's still very much valid. So we'll talk about it more though on the podcast.
I did have a great time streaming this for the first 7 streams. Not the 8th, not the 8th one though.
Not the 8th one. Landon,
but yeah.
Landon, did you want to add any brief thoughts before moving on, or would you like to? Daisy. Landon pretty much just played. There was no other character in the game for Landon. The character select was one character.
every once in a while I would be like, "Hey Landon, can I be Daisy? Like you've had her for the whole game." And he's like,
You had to twist Landon's
"Fine."
arm for it.
You had to pay
I
me
really,
$5 to play as
I
her.
really did.
And then the last release of October, on October 27th, was a game that to Landon is vaporware. Alan Wake 2 released digital only on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X, and is not getting a physical release. So again, for Landon, that's vaporware. Never came out.
Read what I
It
wrote.
said he put, and I quote, nothing, because it was digital only. Then in another set of parentheses, the actual platforms it came out on.
Amazing. Have not played it.
I don't
feel like
play
I've been
Alan
saying
Wake.
that a lot late. Did you say that was the end of October?
That was the end of October.
Can I talk about one that came out in October that you guys didn't write down?
What game was it?
Lethal Company, baby.
Is it an early access?
I mean, technically, yeah, but
So
like,
then that's why we didn't talk about it
That's
yet.
why we
Fair
didn't do
enough.
it, because there's a game on here that's coming up that the early access was last year, and we talked about its final release this past year, I should say.
But if you want to talk about it, you can.
Yeah,
Did
go
you
ahead.
actually play Lethal Company?
I have played it. It's
Cool.
really fun. It's like if you and like several friends can get together online and like play a game, it's both really funny, and when you get into it, it's like actually really fun and kind of challenging. So I recommend. I mean, like, it is a game that I spent money on, and it came out this year. So
I have something really loud outside my house that's on. I can't. They just got like a really loud speaker on. Okay, fine. Thankfully, it was a car that was like, I think the door was open and they had something blasting out, but like
Jesus.
they're driving off. Hopefully you can edit that out, Landon, because that was abysmal. November was the release of a bunch of stuff because, holiday season. The first release for November was on November 2nd. Star Ocean Second Story R, a remake of the next Star Ocean game. There was also First Departure R. Now we got Second Story R. That came out for PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, and PS5. I haven't played it. I played a little bit of First Departure R. I'm not a Star Ocean guy. I have a friend who's like a big Star Ocean guy, but I'm never really been big on it. It's got a weird gameplay wise because it's like it's an RPG, but it's like it's kind of it's kind of like Xenoblade in that it's like auto battle when you don't have direct suit like minute control over characters. They'll automatically attack stuff, but it's not like fully 3D. It's like a 2D battle. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it. Cool.
Of Octopath and Trails to finish first.
On the 2nd of November, we had the release of WarioWare Move It on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
I was going to say, this is your game, Jack. Speak up.
I know.
Get on your pedestal. Get on your podium. Speak to us.
Oh no, I don't want to.
Speak to the public about WarioWare Move It.
I don't want to stand up. I'm comfy. WarioWare Move It was really fun. I streamed this several weeks ago. It was, short one stream game. I mean, like with most WarioWare games, it's fairly short. You can beat it in like 2 hours, but it's really fun. It has some really fun and like goofy implementations of motion controls in the game in the same way that WarioWare Smooth Moves was on the Wii. But you have 2 Joy-Cons, so like it takes advantage of you using like both of your hands instead of just one of them.
Okay.
Shout
out to the guy when you were streaming that was in our Twitch chat that was like trying to start a fight between you and another streamer.
Yeah, that was
dumb.
That was weird. Either way though, it does some shit with like the infrared sensor too. where you have to like put up like a certain amount of fingers or some shit. But yeah, I don't know. Good game. I liked it.
On heck. It's cut off. I don't know if I did this on. No, it doesn't. I don't know how this is cut off, but there was a release for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2 on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. It's between the 3rd and the 9th. I don't know which day it came out, but it's for some reason it's not. I don't know what happened there. I didn't play.
It was November 7th.
November 7th. Okay, thank you. I didn't play this game. I played the first one.
I didn't play this one either.
I think it's funny that the Switch version was a code in the box.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was really funny. What is the point? Like, Jesus Christ.
The next game that came out, this one's for you, Al. On November 9th, there was the release of Like a Dragon Gaiden. The man who erased his name.
Okay. Thank you. I was going to say the full name.
You got to give me a chance to pause for dramatic effect. I'm trying to pick these titles up.
All right. I'll give you the chance now. You can take another swing at it.
So we got the release of Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name. Thank you.
Yeah.
On PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. Probably
I literally wrote in the note, this one's for Al.
Yes, it says
because you didn't include it.
I didn't.
You did not include this.
I can't believe I missed it. But yeah, November 9th.
I was like, wow.
I think it's just because like the way that it like linked on Wikipedia, like it linked to like the original game, so I didn't put 2 and 2 together that like this was actually still kind of a big deal of release.
Oh no, this is a huge deal for the Yakuza Like a Dragon series.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah. See, I got your back, Al. Don't worry. I might forget Fate Remnant or Fate Samurai Remnant.
But he didn't forget Like a Dragon Gaiden, and I did. So, on November 10th, there was the release of the Call of Duty game for the year. It is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 for PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. Okay, moving on. There was the release of the Steam Deck OLED model on November 16th. So if you are a fan of the Steam Deck, you got a nice new model with a nicer, crisper screen. I didn't get the original Steam Deck. I've been kind of interested, but like, just never got around to getting one. The thing is too big that I just would not actually take it with me anywhere. So like, I've just never felt like I would do it.
The only thing I would play on it, I guess I'd play Bit Trip Rerunner. The only things I'd really play on it are The Legend of Heroes, Trails in the Sky, Trails in the Sky second chapter, and Trails in the Sky the third.
It would just be a Trails machine.
It would be a Trails in the Sky machine.
So yeah, I put this here as a meme entry because Katie was like mentioning it in the chat in the Discord server one day. But we got the Bluey video game on November 17th for PC and Nintendo Switch and all the other crap. Why does Bluey have a video game? Everything gets a video game. You get a video game. You get a video game. We all get a video game. Okay. There was also on the same day as Bluey the video game, stiff competition. We got Persona 5 Tactica on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X.
Damn, 2 huge releases on the same day.
There's a third one. There's a third one.
Ooh. Go ahead and read off that third one, and then we could all choose which one we picked up on this.
So we got the Super Mario RPG remake came out on Nintendo Switch on the same exact day.
Okay. I mean,
it's a huge day.
But clearly, I think most of the weight being pulled here is from Bluey.
Yeah.
Yep. Bluey was the true champion of this
headliner.
Day. Now, as the secondary pick, because we all picked up Bluey the video game.
Yeah.
For every platform.
Yeah,
My collection's right over here. I can't turn my camera, but it's definitely over here. What did you
definitely.
guys pick? Did you guys pick up one of the other two games as your secondary?
I didn't get
Yeah.
that. I didn't get either game yet. I do intend to get Super Mario RPG Remake though, for sure. I've been so excited to play that game, but I haven't played it yet. I just haven't had the money. So, how are you liking Super Mario RPG Remake, Jack? You can go first.
I was like, I had never played the original Super Mario RPG, and for a long time I was kind of just like whatever, it's fine. Like I don't really like if people like it, that's fine, but like I don't really care about it. This has shown me that I should have cared about it a long time ago.
Oh wow.
Like I okay, it's a very simple RPG. Like it's pretty not I don't want to say bare bones, but like
It's simple.
in terms of it's very simple. But that's not a bad thing because like
I mean, it's a
it,
Mario RPG. You can't expect it to be too deep, but
it's
that's the good thing about it.
there's something like so charming and so fun about like the sheer simplicity of this game. Like the combat is really fun. Like it's literally just like timing the A button presses with your attacks to like increase your damage.
Yeah, so
But
like
like
Super
it
Mario,
add
Paper Mario and then Luigi also did this.
yeah, but like it's literally just pressing A instead of like any other act. I mean, sometimes you have to hold A for some attacks or whatever, but like it's very simple. But at the same time, it's just like a little bit that like adds so much and makes the combat really fun. Visually it's great. It's a really like it feels like 1-to-1 with the original game. It reminds me a lot of the Link's Awakening remake in that regard. In a good way. So like presentation wise, I think it's fantastic. The music is great. Uh the dialogue is funny. Uh yeah,
You have a favorite
I
character?
like it. I like Mallow a lot, actually. Little cloud frog boy. Not actually a frog, but
He gives off frog vibes.
no, he's like adopted by frogs.
Oh,
Yeah, and he thinks that he's a frog, but
I
he's a cloud boy.
I learned something new. Landon, did you have anything to talk about besides Persona 5 Tactica? And if not, just jump right into Persona 5 Tactica. You played this
I
game.
bought Super Mario RPG. It's somewhere. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll play it. I played the original version. I played it through WiiWare, so like I'm not itching to replay it. And
Okay.
with the amount of games that came out this year, I was just like, eh.
That's a
I
back burner.
bought it just because I was like, just in case, like I free up some time. But you know,
It is a
other
fairly short game.
it is. So it's like something like if I'm like, oh, I could just play through that like on a weekend or something. Like
Yeah.
it's something I could do. That just hasn't happened yet with all the fucking shit that I've been playing.
Mm-hmm.
One of those games is in fact Persona 5 Tactica. Really enjoyed that. It is a fun. I think I read somewhere out on the internet. It is just Capcom for anime weebos. That's pretty fucking true. It is just a tactics RPG with Persona characters. That's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
I used Morgana way more in this game than I ever used Morgana in Persona 5.
Does that mean this is a better or worse game?
He's actually useful in this game.
I mean, as a party member, he's fairly well, I mean, he kind of gets outclassed by Makoto once you get her, but
Exactly. In this game, he's useful the whole way through.
all right.
Yeah. So there you go.
All right.
It's not super long, but it's super fun.
So moving on to December, there wasn't a whole lot out, but there was one pretty big release. Literally the first day of December, we had Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince on Nintendo Switch. Landon, you've been playing this.
I fucking beat the main story the other day. It's so fucking good. You know what? I'm gonna let you just read off the rest of this month.
Yeah,
just
so
so
like,
we don't forget that.
Yeah,
'cause
so
I can talk about this.
Nobody played. I promise you, nobody played any of the other releases this month. So let's just shotgun through them. There was the final release of Disney Dreamlight Valley on pretty much everything on December 5th. It was in early access in September of the year before, 2022, but it was finally released, like final release on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. There was once again Apple Arcade exclusive Sonic Dream Team on December 5th. There was a game based on the Avatar movies. Sure, why not? December 7th, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, and like nobody really bought it. So like, take that, $1 billion movie making game adaptation. It nobody cares. The Avatar that we care about is The Last Airbender.
And a game of that came out this year, and no one cared about that either.
There was also Asgard's Wrath 2 for the Meta VR, December 15th. That's pretty much it. That came out in December, so feel free to talk as much as you'd like for a little bit about Dragon Quest Monsters, because it was the only thing that came out.
Dragon Quest Monsters is so fucking fun. First, we're going to have to talk about the things that are bad with it. It's only a little poopy when it comes to performance, but not super poopy where it crashes your game. Just sometimes it chugs a little bit, like it'll dip in frames like that much.
It's kind of a running thing about some Nintendo Switch games lately.
I think Square Enix refuses to optimize things sometimes. This is like one of their B teams, so whatever.
Yeah.
But the game is still really fun. It's like when you're in, because like every like area is a super big area. So it's like trying to load this super big area, and then it's trying to populate like tens of like enemy monsters on it. When you're in the smaller like corridor areas, it like runs fine. But it's when you're in like the super big areas, it just, and then like weather effects are happening.
Oh goodness.
Then you're just trying to bog the set, like you're bogging like the system down. So yeah. But outside of that, like that's like that, and then the story like presentation is like a little choppy and a little weird. It's doing a retelling of Dragon Quest IV, but from the perspective of the antagonist, one of the main antagonists of Dragon Quest IV. You're actually playing as them. And it's like doing a little bit of like a twist on it instead of like what happened if you play Dragon Quest IV. He can't attack monsters, and therefore he becomes a monster wrangler, hence why it's a Dragon Quest Monsters game. But the part of it that fucking is great is the monster bit, where you are recruiting monsters and fighting monsters. It is so fun to be able to like set up your team how you want, and then like when you synthesize new monsters, like bringing over to the talent trees that you want, it's really cool. To give a quick brief on it, basically you recruit monsters. You have a percentage chance of like getting them to join you, or if you beat them up in the fight, there's a small percentage chance of them like asking to to be recruited to you, like to your team. Your party makeup is 4 active slots and 4 reserve slots. Small monsters take 1 slot each. Large monsters take 2 slots each. So and the size of a monster does like play into like their aspects. They have like they can do more attacks or like have like more traits.
Is there like a certain like
small ones?
Is there a certain configuration you like to go with? Do you like to do like 4 small, or do you like to do like a mix, like 2 big or 1 big 2 small, or do you like to do just 2 big ones? Like
I played around with having a large monster on my team. I found having all of my slots with small monsters worked like the best.
Okay.
Because if you have, like, say you have four if you have like 4 people out and then you want to switch one large one in, you have to like remove 2. And so it becomes a little messy. So I was just sticking mostly with smalls, but I was seeing some like gameplay footage from other people that was like doing mostly like just 2 big ones, or like one big and two smalls.
So you've got some
So
you've got some good player choice there on how you want to tackle things.
Yes. But the big part is synthesis. So you can take 2 of your monsters and like fuse them together, a la
Persona.
SMT. Yeah, SMT Persona, where you can fuse your demies, and have them shoot out a new one, usually more powerful. This game has that. You can actually look back and see the tree, so you can see back to the grandparents of whatever monster you have. So like you can actually see how you made that monster, which is pretty cool. But then when you're fusing the monster, every monster when you like out on the field has 2 basically skill trees. Usually one is for actual like attacking skills, and then one's for parameters. So like buffing HP, MP, attack, defense, agility, all that stuff. Giving them special, like they can't be damaged by certain like things. So you usually have one for like dealing damage or doing buffs and stuff, or healing, and then one for making them stronger. When you fuse 2 monsters, you can bring 3 trees over. And so like just like building a monster, having like trying to think of a game plan of what do I want this monster to be, and then figure that out, it was like super fun. Like I made one for each of Cloud and Jack, and like Cloud's was, this monster is going to hit like a fucking truck.
Yeah.
Like every single version was just, how can I make this guy do tons of damage to everything on the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I had to take time and max out a skill tree on a monster to give him access to fucking attack 4, just to make it like stupid powerful. It was fun. And then like it was like building a team, because debuffs are super important, because you can debuff like bosses pretty easily. Without having that, like you can lose pretty easy to bosses. So like having a debuffer, having a buffer for your team, having a healer, having a main attacker, I felt was super important. So it's real fun for like building teams and letting them sort of do their thing, because the monsters can act on their own, but then also you can just give them orders. But a lot of times it's better, depending on the stats, to let them just do their own thing, because like the monsters I had based off of YouTube could act twice sometimes if they were not being told what to do, which is more like having multiple attacks is way more helpful than just doing one attack.
How'd you feel about like the story and everything else?
The story was fine. Like I said, it was serviceable. It was just like how the cutscenes sort of like happened and the info dumping was like pretty okay. And also you kind of know what you're getting into. As far as like the main story, I haven't played the post game yet. I'll probably get to that sometime. We'll see. But as far as the main game goes, you kind of know where it's going to end up. You fight Randolpho the Tyrant. That's your end game. It's set out in the first like 30 minutes of the game.
Nice and
That's the story.
Nice and simple.
Yeah, it's simple. It's just there's some stuff that happens in it. You're just like, why? What is the character like? What's the character drive behind this? But it's fine. It's more so like giving me an avenue to kill monsters with big numbers.
Okay.
It's fun.
Sounds like there was a good time. So we have a lot more we need to talk about, but we're going to take a very brief moment to talk about our other, social media stuff. So Landon, if you want to get up and go get stuff,
I need water.
And Jack, I was actually going to ask if you could do that because I need to get up real quick for something as well.
Oh, okay.
Why don't we just take a quick break?
Do we all want to just do that? You can edit this out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
all right.
then
We'll take a quick
and then
5-10.
we'll do the sponsor thing.
Yeah, we'll do a quick 5-10.
By
then.
sponsor thing, I mean our socials.
We will be right back then.
And let me finish sending something off.
And we're back.
We're back.
So,
Hey, tell us about that thing.
Hey,
that thing.
the Patreon?
Yeah, that thing.
That thing.
Join our Patreon.
What do they get for it?
Did you still want me to do it?
Yeah, I'll take over. So our
I don't have the notes on me.
I don't take notes. This is literally unscripted. So our Patreon is we've got quite a bit of content on there now.
Jack's not a fucking patron member. He doesn't know the benefits.
I don't.
So the Patreon, we've got 3 tiers. We still haven't really like revamped the tiers quite yet. So we've got Bronze Stooge, $3 tier gives you access to our Patreon, so you can look at and vote in polls, so you can contribute to what we're going to be doing in the future on streams and stuff like that. You've helped us decide on an upcoming podcast topic. So thanks to you guys voting, Patreon members, we've got one of our topics covered for the season 1. Yeah, no, that is a season 1 podcast. We've got the Silver Stooge tier at $6. We've got all sorts of exclusive content. I alluded to earlier that in February we're going to be seeing a tier list on video game companies, but we've also got a bunch of other stuff up there. We've got a Pathfinder series of videos. We've got Tales of the Collection, Volume 1. We still haven't done Volume 2 yet. We will do it sometime. There's a bunch of other cool stuff up there. And then the $10 tier is you get all of that, plus you get a specific shout out every single stream and podcast episode. We don't have anybody there yet. We are thinking of like revamping this, so we might merge that down into the Silver Stooge tier. You know, who knows? But we have more members on the Silver Stooge tier, so I can't even really like get rid of that. I was gonna like fix it up and like change the pricing, but apparently Patreon doesn't let us do that if we have people subscribe to the tier.
I think it's fine if we just
keep it at $6 and just merge the $10 tier down.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just rename the tiers too, and then it'll be fine.
All right, so there you go. That's our Patreon. We have a Discord server. We've been talking about it all podcast. You can find the link to it in the description / show notes of every episode. You can jump in and say hi. We've had quite a few people join recently because of our Twitch, which is where this is going live. So thank you, people who have joined. We got a couple new members. We got Dark Ips Mustard. We had, I believe, Zucchini popped in to the Discord very briefly. So, you know, we've got that going on. We've had post a lot of fun stuff there. And of course, we have all of our other platforms that this podcast goes out to. You can watch it on YouTube. You can listen to it on YouTube, rather. You can listen to it on Spotify, Google app, Amazon, Apple, all that good stuff. So thank you to everybody's support. We're going to jump back in. Landon has some Tillamook, apparently, and Jack also has ice cream. I'm feeling left out. I don't have ice cream. Jack's got Ben and Jerry's
Dream tonight.
American Dream. And Landon's got Bing Cherry Cheesecake.
Frozen custard, baby.
All right. So, Landon wanted us to do this on stream, but Kari had sent us, myself and Jack, packages. He wants us to open them.
They're New Year's
Their
presents.
New Year's present.
New Year's presents from Kari. Gonna open them.
Using like a small screwdriver that I used to open my 3DS. I didn't come prepared with that part.
Should I open the letter first or last?
I don't think it matters.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna dump this out into my lap.
We've got some.
Okay.
And by that I mean I'm gonna. Pick them
We've
out
got a little stamp of trader. It's kind of hard to see. There we go. We've got a little stamp of trader and
Oh, there's a Trader and a Cheese Whiz.
yeah, I got Cheese Whiz.
We got a Cheese Whiz stamp now, baby.
That's sick. I like that.
It's beautiful.
We've got a nice glossy photo with the cats and the dogs and Landon and Kari on it. Very cool.
Show it off,
Got
cowards.
Landon and Kari
There it is.
there. You got all the pets down there. I like it. Cool stuff.
The one of us was taken at the pumpkin patch by her niece, whose, you can see it in the photo, his finger was covering like part of the camera.
Oh yeah.
But that was the best photo. She said, that is the best photo of you that I could send to everyone, and they would not think you're crazy.
We've got a bunch of early Valentine's Day chocolates, Ghirardelli and Reese's. I'm a sucker for Ghirardelli. We've got a pouch of Swiss Miss hot chocolate. Cocoa.
It's actually pretty good stuff. It's got peppermint, marshmallows.
Oh shit! It's from McMinimans.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I was gonna say we
What's
got
this?
another little package. I don't know what to expect because I don't know what McMinimans is.
I've been to McMinimans.
It's, spoiler, not from McMinimans.
Oh,
Well then, he's faking Jack out.
I'm slightly
Yeah.
disappointed. They had some bomb ass mini corn dogs,
We
and I was
got-
expecting those.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Got some Nintendo pins with snowmen of Toad, Peach, Mario, and Luigi.
That's cute.
And we got
Soap.
Game Bar.
Open it up.
Is she saying we stink?
Yeah, open it up.
Damn. I'm trying to open it up. It's sealed
It's
so much.
taped.
Yeah. It is so sealed.
I don't have anything sharp.
Hold on. I got mine. Oh.
It's the same thing, so as long as one of you gets it.
Yes! It's a Game Boy! It's the original DMG Game Boy. That's so cool. I love how the
I love
buttons
it.
protrude. I love it. That is amazing. I'm going to use that the very next time I take a bath.
That's so sick.
That is super sick. Tell her I said thank you so much. That is amazing.
Will do.
Incredible. This might have been one of my favorite packages she's sent out yet. There's a lot of cool
Okay.
stuff all around. Not saying that you guys have to.
Included the pins.
Not saying you guys have to top this, but this is definitely one of the coolest packages so far. There's been some cool packages.
I included the pins. So
Thank you, Kari and Landon.
You're welcome.
All right, so I believe we are ready to move on to the next segment where we're going to talk about stuff we played in 2023 that didn't come out in 2023 because other video games exist and sometimes we like to play them even if they didn't come out that year, and we like to actually talk about them. This is that segment for that. Did anyone want to start and talk about anything major that they played this year, or do we want to kind of... I made a list. Jack has a list. I'm sure Landon has a list. So I don't know if we want to just kind of take turns going down them or if we want to just bounce off of each other. I got a pretty big list of games that I played this past year that are not 2023 games.
A
we
lot of my list includes games that actually came out this year.
yeah, we already talked about all the games that I wrote down that came out this year.
Did you list anything that did not come out this past year that you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mostly just went through and wrote out all of the games that I either Let's Played or streamed this year. So.
You have the floor.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you wanted me to go first or not. So
Once again, your name's Jack.
yeah.
Your name is Jack.
Did you want me to talk about just games that I played for the first time, or just
Games you played.
Games you
Okay.
played. I mean, you can focus on whichever is more important to you.
I just wrote down. I'm just gonna go through them.
Go through them.
So, starting at the end of the last year and leaked into the beginning of, starting at the end of 2022 and leaking into the beginning of 2023 was my Let's Play for A Hat in Time, which was fun. It was really fun revisiting that game. Got to play one of the DLCs that I had never touched before, and I enjoyed it. Love that game. This is another one that Landon played because Landon and I streamed Scott Pilgrim vs. the World together. And that was
a lot of fun. That was super fun.
Great game. I did a quick stream of Donut County, which is always a fun time. Always love the item descriptions and just the dialogue in general. As well as Landon and I reduxing, well, technically not reduxing for the first time, saving for the first time, playing for the second time, Donkey Kong Country.
Streaming for the second time.
Yeah. Streaming for the second time, saving the VODs for the first time.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's a classic. Haven't played it yet. Hey, here's a big one that I did not get to until this past year that I had not played previously. We have Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Starring our boy Miles Edgeworth and our other boy Dick Gumshoe. And also there's some other characters, but they
like
matter
Kay
less.
Faraday.
And Kay Faraday. And trying to think of like a really obscure character from the game. The kid that was dressed like Godzilla, the actor kid. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
But
I don't remember their name.
I don't either. But no, Investigations 2, like, people talked up that shit for years, like over a decade before I played it in full. Technically I had played about half of the game before playing through it this year, but I mean the second half of the Ace Attorney game is always the more important half. So, I mean, did I really experience the game until I streamed it?
No.
Honestly,
I
no.
choose to believe not.
No. But it was a great game. I really enjoyed it. All the cases were really fun. The third one drags on for a little too long, but it's also like a back and forth between like past and present day where you play as Gregory. So it's pretty cool in that regard, but yeah, no, great game. I Let's Played Super Mario Galaxy, baby. For my final Let's Play.
That was a pretty fun Let's Play.
I enjoyed it, and it's still like one of my favorite games, period. Did a stream Redux of Kirby Superstar, and also got a copy of Kirby Superstar Ultra again this year, and I've been playing that on and off lately, like in my spare time. And yeah, classic. I did a stream redux of Landon's favorite game that I've ever played for this channel, Sonic Adventure 1.
Landon's trying to gag himself.
I thoroughly enjoyed those streams though. I had a fun time.
It was fun.
I did a stream. We streamed Tony Hawk's Underground, and that was fun.
That was a patron choice.
Except for the copyright stuff,
which
that was annoying to deal with.
Thankfully, only affected the first VOD, but unfortunately affected any of them. But yeah, no, Tony Hawk's Underground is my favorite Tony Hawk game, and it's like, ooh, so good. So fucking good. Still buttery smooth to this day.
Dogs stay winning.
And then for one of my 2 Spookfest games this year, we streamed The Walking Dead, A New Frontier. And that was definitely a game that I played this year. We got Cheese Whiz on cam.
Live Cheese Whiz reaction.
Every other game I have listed on here is stuff we already talked about because it's games that came out this year.
Okay.
So
I've got a big list of games, but I can kind of condense some of it. So I basically I kind of mostly went in order, except I didn't. The first game I played was actually the Dawn of Souls release of Final Fantasy 1, and I finally completed that game. It's archaic. It is Final Fantasy 1, but it's a really good release of it. I enjoy it. I'm a sucker for some like old school RPGs if they're at least fun enough, and I just like the dynamic of just being able to pick a party of 4 right out, whatever classes you want out of a decent selection, and just kind of, I said it earlier, I'm a sucker for player choice, and Final Fantasy 1 gives you a decent bit of player choice, even if it is a little dated. So that was fun. I played through for the first time Golden Sun. I beat that game, and that is probably one of my new favorite Game Boy Advance games. That was an incredible game. I started Golden Sun: The Lost Age, but I didn't really get too far in it yet. I just ended up getting sidetracked. But Golden Sun, it's kind of like what Jack said about Super Mario RPG. It's kind of a simple game, but it's very solid about being simple. I like that, like, you can do like synergy on the overworld. It's pretty cool. And then it's also usable in battle, and you can mix and match like the gens to like give different loadouts of skills for characters. It's pretty sweet. This one I'm gonna have to like read it off of the case because I can't remember this name for the life of me. But as a birthday gift from my girlfriend, she got me Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid Burst Forth Chorogon Breath, which is, it's a shoot 'em up with Kobayashi characters, so it's fun. Pretty cool. I liked it. You get to switch between the three different characters. So 3 or 4. It's like 3 or 4. You get to you basically just switch between them, and you just have access to them at all times. So it's pretty fun. They all have different shot patterns. I don't have I'll show them. I got a couple new pieces of hardware this past year. The first one, I'm not going to hold it up, but it is the Retron 5. After hearing about Landon's experience with the Retron 5 for so long, I was like, I really just got to get one. So I did. I've been able to stream and play some games through that. I played quite a bit of Final Fantasy 1 on that. I played quite a bit of Golden Sun, but I also used it to stream Super Mario Brothers Deluxe. That was like me kind of doing a redux of the first Mario game because the LP for that is bad. It's very bad. And then I also played almost all of Super Mario Advanced, aka Super Mario Brothers 2. I say almost because I kept dying on the final boss, and my controller inputs, they were kind of doing weird directions because it's kind of a crappy third party Hyperkin controller that like kind of gets the job done, but not if you're doing like fine-tuned movement. So I got frustrated and never finished it. Oh well, maybe one day. And then Super Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario Advance 4, I streamed that as well. I also got a PS5, and I got, until Landon bought me a second game, one whole PS5 game, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. It is a very good game, but I also mostly spent my PS5 time this year playing PS4 games that some of them, they have like upgrades, some of them don't. But it was mostly because my PS4 is kind of like falling apart on me. So like, I just wanted to get new hardware that I knew was going to last me a long time. Speaking of which, I'll get back to that later. Actually, one of the biggest games I played this past year is actually a very old game. Phantasy Star 4, End of the Millennium. I originally started playing this actually back in 2022, but I barely played a lot of it, and this was on my girlfriend's Genesis Mini. So I had found it on NSO Genesis online early into last year. So I was like, screw it. I can play it on my own Switch. I'll just restart the file fresh from that, and I'll go through it. And I could hardly put that game down. That game is one of my favorite RPGs of all time. One of my favorite games of all time now. Phantasy Star 4. Incredible game. I played a lot of Dragon Ball this past year. We had a podcast. It was like 3.5 hours long. I went way too hard for that podcast, dude.
Yeah, you did.
I played so much Dragon Ball that I'd never touched before, including the Legacy of Goku trilogy. I had like barely played like one entry before for like 5 minutes. I played through the whole trilogy this time. The first one sucks. The second one's all right. I like the third one the most because it has more RPG elements, but it's one of those things where it's got to be your cup of tea or it's not. Dragon Ball Z Attack of the Saiyans. That's like one of the best Dragon Ball games. If you haven't watched our podcast on Dragon Ball games, Landon and I gush about that game quite a bit. That's a good game. I also played the Dragon Ball Raging Blast games for the first time. I'd never touched them before in my life, and I probably will never touch them again because they're pretty run-of-the-mill, by the numbers, not as good as Tenkaichi 3D Arena Fighters. Yeah, sure. The character roster is pretty cool in Raging Blast 2. Ultimate Tenkaichi is technically a Raging Blast game by gameplay, and it sucks. So, yeah. And then last game, I didn't grab it out of my chest, and I'm not going to try to go back and get it because the label for it's really hard to tell anyway. It was Dragon Ball Z Extreme Butoden. It's a pretty solid, underlooked game on the 3DS. Nice fighting game. And also Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure. That was a really solid side scroller on GBA. So that's just the games I played that I'd like barely ever or never touched before. I played other Dragon Ball games, but I played them before, so I'm not going to talk about them again. There was also going back to having a PS5, I was playing quite a bit of stuff on there. Namely, I got back into a replay of Dark Cloud 2 where I'm like this close to platinuming the game. This close. Like I have to do like some photo stuff, and then I have to do like Spheda, which is like the golf mini game, and I have to do that through like all the levels. So like I have to like complete those, but I'm like pretty close to having everything. So I have to get back to that. There was also the Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix LP. I think I started it at like the very end of 2022, but the vast majority of the Let's Play has been this year, and that's been pretty fun. I mean, I can't really speak for Jack or Landon, but I think the LP's been pretty fun for the most part for Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. We went to visit Winnie the Pooh recently.
And then Lennon's like, yeah, I remember that.
That was a good time.
And then there was also, we did a Mario Kart podcast. So prepping for that, I also played a bunch of Mario Kart, but namely, I actually really dug my teeth into Super Mario Kart because I hadn't played a whole lot of it up until then. So I played it. We have thoughts on it. We talked about the Mario Kart games on our podcast dedicated to that. But I had also played Mario Kart Double Dash, which I had only very briefly played once before. And again, my thoughts on that are on the other podcast. I'm not going to keep elaborating. There was 2 games where I played some DLC. One of the games was DLC that came out this year, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I played through the DLC that had came out during the last quarter of the year. And it's pretty good DLC. Like, I'll admit, like, I had quite a lot of fun with it. I think it's pretty solid. It was really nice having like 2 massive sub-regions to explore. It was pretty cool going to a region that was like Japan inspired again with Kitakami, and the terrarium is pretty cool, and having like the option to like basically transmit your mind into a Pokemon and just like play around as a Pokemon. That's caused some funny clips to show up on the internet, like people running around as a Toadstool. That's like the funniest thing. And then the other game I played DLC for was Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, actually, which had a PS5 upgrade. But I only had like the first 2 DLCs. So like the Battle of Gods, Resurrection F covering ones. They're the weakest DLCs of the bunch, unfortunately. I just haven't had the chance to like buy the other DLCs. I haven't played the Trunk stuff yet either, but it did warm me up, so like I do want to eventually go back and play that other DLC. And then just to wrap up, the last couple things that I played was more stream titles. I also streamed Ape Escape, and I've been I started streaming Grandia 2, and then I had a mishap, so I haven't streamed Grandia 2 for a while. But we're very close to getting back to it. I'm actually like very close to getting back to where we left off, so streams returning soon. That's most of the major stuff I've played this past year. I don't remember. I played some Dragon Quest Treasures, but I don't remember if that was the end of December or if it was like the beginning of January. So I didn't like actually put it down on notes, but I played a little bit of that. I gotta get back to it. It's pretty fun. So yeah, that I had a long list of stuff. I played a lot of stuff this year. Not necessarily stuff that came out this year, but I did play a lot of stuff. Oh, and of course, all the stuff that was mentioned earlier in the podcast that I did actually play. So yeah. Landon, what is your list of games you've gone through this year?
Some stuff I played this last year. I finished up my playthrough of Trails from Zero. I'd started that back when it came out in 2022. Wrapped it up in 2023. Like, I want to say like half of the game got played in 2023, which is why I'm like putting it here. It's good. It's real good. It's very, as far as like to give like perspective on it, it's very similar to Trails in the Sky in terms of like pacing.
I forgot one other thing to mention.
Oh.
It's fine. It was just another thing that we covered. It was DLC from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, because this game got a bunch of DLC and we played a lot of it.
We never played that game before. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we did.
I've never played that game.
Yeah, exactly. See? The man knows. Some stuff I played for the podcasts. I played Kirby Squeak Squad for the first time. I started Mass Attack. Started Mass Attack.
Hi, Zucchini. Unfortunately, we've been streaming for a couple hours now, so you missed like our whole discussion of all of the games that came out in 2023 and our thoughts on it. We will be exporting that to YouTube, though, so you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to listen in later.
Go on about Mass Attack, Landon?
Yeah.
I got to about... I think I finished the first world, and that's about it on that one. And then I played through the 3D Classics version of Kirby's Adventure, and that was fun. I think the 3D version really added like a bit to that. They did a little bit of touch up here and there, so it was cool. Some other stuff. I played a bunch of Dragon Ball games as well. Biggest one of the lot was definitely Attack of the Sands. Fantastic RPG. weakest point is they fucking tease something that we never got.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I played the Revenge of King Piccolo. That one was pretty fun up until I got to Cyborg. Or not even Cyborg Tao, just a mercenary Tao. Fuck him. I played a good chunk of Origins 1. Legacy of Goku 2 I played a bit of, but that game sucks, so...
You just didn't like the fact that the game was like trying to railroad you into using Super Saiyan Vegeta for the android fight.
I want to play Piccolo when he was the prominent character during that section. He's the one who actually fights Dr. Gero.
Too bad.
Let me play as Piccolo. I don't want to play as a fucking
super salad vegetable.
Yeah, I don't want to play as a gold vegetable. Silly. And then as far as like I played Mario Kart Tour.
That was a game.
I played that for like 2 weeks.
I played that for like a half hour.
I like that you acknowledge that Mario Kart Tour is a game, but not Alan Wake 2.
Well, I played it. We don't have an Alan Wake podcast. Let me know when there's a Remedy Studios podcast. Right. And I might acknowledge it. Probably not though.
We hid it in the cupboard, top shelf.
Oh, I'll go searching later. Some stuff I played not for podcasts and not for content for this channel that did not come out this year. I started Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. I'm about halfway through it right now. You'll be hearing about it more in our year in review 2024. And then I played through Super Princess Peach. That one is super fun. Some stuff I played for the channel. I wrapped up my whatever LP killed LPs forever. They're dead. I don't have to talk about them ever again. We finished Dragon Quest Treasures. I played through Mighty Switch Force, The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages and Oracle Seasons. We played through SteamWorld Dig. We did Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. We did Spookfest with Dark Pictures Anthology, The Devil in Me.
Yeah.
Played through Goodbye World. And we started Tunic last year. It got wrapped up in January of this year. So that one was fun. Yeah. That was all the stuff that did not come out this year that I played. That I cared about to remember to write down.
All right. I didn't ask you guys to jot anything down for this because I just wanted to ask this one off the cuff. But last thing before we do our usual podcast wrap up is, are there any games coming up that you are super anticipated for that you just want to kind of mention real quick?
Persona 3 Reload.
We did this last time.
Yeah. We did.
We did? Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You made us do a whole podcast, like a portion of a podcast. See, it would have fit better in this podcast. That's why I was thrown off.
The other one was for the podcast at the beginning of the year, so it made sense there too, just in case there was something in January.
Yeah.
Fair enough. It's so off-putting that we did that in a separate podcast than this one.
Anyway, the correct answer is Princess Peach Showtime.
That too.
Yeah.
Also, Mario vs. Donkey Kong remake.
Yeah, that one's looking fun.
Has there been anything that was announced between that podcast and this that is notable? I'm trying to think because it has been a month.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks. I mean, the big stuff. There's a new Sharon the Wanderer game that's coming up that I'm looking forward to. I probably mentioned most of these last time. There's a new Opus game. It might already be out, but the physical release is coming up that I'm picking up. There's a new Catan game. The physical release for that is coming out, so I'm hoping that has online, and we can actually fucking
I want to play Catan again so bad.
It's so fucking good. And then what else? We got Apollo, the Apollo trilogy coming up.
Stream. Well, if you're listening to this podcast audio, like, you know, in podcast form, this is only for the people who are watching live right now. But stream Apollo Justice coming this Friday.
As long as the game shows up on time.
It should.
Okay.
If
You're
not,
gonna
I
be
will,
so mad if it doesn't.
if not, I will burn Amazon to the ground.
You know, we can just burn Amazon to the ground regardless if it shows up on time or not.
I like that idea, actually.
Cool.
But I'll wait until after I get the game.
That's fair.
Then we can burn it to the ground.
Awesome. What else?
I do I do have one other question actually. So
do you have anything you're looking forward to?
Pretty much just the stuff I mentioned in that last podcast. Now that I think about it, because like I was like, wait, no, I did say all of this pretty much already, and there wasn't anything new that was announced. But so when we listed off the games that we played, did you guys include stuff that like you had just basically played like this past month, like since we were doing this at the end of January, or is there games that you just started this past month that were not included in your list that like you maybe haven't finished up yet that you're looking forward to getting to?
What you mean, like stuff?
Something that's kind of like fallen in the interim rim and like in the middle of like this past month that either you've started or just bought, just haven't gotten to finishing yet.
The stuff. So I mean, I've talked about most of it. I think at this point, Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, I'm still playing. Trails to Azure, I'm still playing, and I just wrapped up Dragon Quest Monsters. That fucking the second phase to fucking Randolpho the Tyrant was hilarious. I mentioned it a little bit in the Discord, but it's a 2-phase fight. I lost the second phase the first time, but it lets you just start back at the second phase. You just walk back up to him and start at the second phase again, which is excellent game design. I don't need to waste my time fucking refighting him in the first phase. He will like sometimes he'll try and poison your team, and he ended up poisoning the one person who can like reciprocate like status elements back onto people. So he severely poisoned my unit, but then he also severely poisoned himself and starts doing 900 damage to himself every single time he damages himself.
That's funny. Good game
and like,
design.
I mean, that was like, it was hilarious because then I just steamroll him. The first time around, I lost to him because there's a random chance that someone goes into a frenzied state and can do extra attacks and have like higher damage output. And he got that in the first one and just like started mowing through my people. And I was like, I can't heal like people back up fast enough to like deal with this. It's not worth it. So I just let myself game over and try him again. But the game was just like, well, we kind of did you bad that first time around. Let's give it to you this time. It was good.
I will say.
Oh, and I guess.
Oh,
yes. I can show it off real quick.
Oh, Landon's going to show something off. He's
Spoiler
got
there.
a Zelda Game & Watch.
Don't tell people, Jesus Christ. It's only for the people who can see.
Well, too bad. If you're gonna show it, then I gotta say it for the listeners. It's not fair to them.
Fuck you, listeners. Watch it live on Twitch or go watch the VOD.
Wow, that's mean.
Well, you know what?
We're gonna have some of our followers listening to the YouTube export of this after that didn't get the chance to tune in live.
Well, they can fucking go watch the VOD on Twitch too. They don't have to watch it on YouTube.
True, you did say that we're gonna have this one saved. So,
yeah.
For me, I started recently getting kart racers, and I started playing Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed. I was telling Jack about my thoughts about the game in a call. I think it was like before a stream or recording or something. But I have to say, or maybe it was just like us like just calling, chatting one day. But that's a game I'm gonna be playing more of. And
Great game.
oh yeah, fantastic game. And I also picked up Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled for PS4. So I'm doing kart racers. I streamed Toho Genso Skydrift. That's also a kart racer. Landon and Jack had no goddamn clue what was going on. They were there.
I mean, I had a pretty basic understanding of what was going on.
Yeah, there was racing on it.
You were supposed to
Yeah.
say that you had no idea what was going on. It's a bit.
It had Wario's gold mine. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It had.
It was
Wario's-
pretty easy to understand what was going on.
It had Wario's Gold Mine. It had Rosalina's Ice World. It had Rainbow Road
Mario
and Bowser's
Circuit.
Castle.
And Mario Circuit.
The Mario Circuit. And Cerno Circuit, apparently.
Wait, what?
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much that's just stuff that I'm like stockpiling because we're gonna be doing. We've mentioned it in a stream recently, but we're gonna be doing a long-term project with kart racers. Apparently, it's gonna be fun.
We just gaslit him into it. It's funny.
Yeah, I got completely gaslit into it. You don't get to take credit for it necessarily either. This
I
was
said
like
we.
this was Buggy and Pixel in the Discord more than anybody else.
I was involved.
You barely did anything compared to them. They've really been gassing it up. Like they've been like, have you seen the amount of times that they've been like going at me?
I think Zucchini is also involved now.
True.
But are you just calling out those two because they're Silver Stooges?
Yeah, I guess I am. They are also Silver Stooge tier on our Patreon. So I guess I don't have a choice but to listen to them then, huh?
Yeah, they pay for democracy.
They pay for this podcast to go out everywhere, so.
But I also pay for this podcast to go out.
Yeah, you do. But they pay a little
so
more.
You should listen to me. Damn it.
I listen to you a little less than them.
I mean, that's fair. I listen to me a little less, too.
So yeah, that's basically what I've been like getting into. But I mean, we'll come back around for just other stuff, like what we've been up to. Jack,
have you just been playing Super Mario RPG?
Or have you been up to other
No.
stuff?
What's that?
Or have you been up to other stuff?
Oh, you mean lately?
Yeah.
I haven't been up to much lately, honestly. I've been kind of in like a
You've seemed really tired lately.
I've been in a slump. And I think
Hmm.
it's the weather.
Yeah.
Like the weather sucks. I have no motivation to do anything.
It's been snowing so
I just wanna-
goddamn much.
It's been so cold. It's been so wet. I hate this month. I hate January. This weather fucking sucks.
It's funny
I've
too.
been
Jack.
to
We had like
I
no
have
snow
been
last month.
I have been to a local show in the past couple weeks. It's the only show I've been to so far this year, and that like seeing like people I know for the first time in a hot minute was like nice, and it was a fun show. But like, man, I've had nothing else going on lately. I've mostly just been like, if I'm not doing stuff for this channel, I'm just kind of hanging out with my girlfriend when I can, and that's about it.
I've been so goddamn busy. When I'm not playing games like I've been mentioning, I've been editing videos or editing something. I've recently got a video that just like completely took off on my solo channel. So my solo channel is now monetized and I'm working hard on videos for that. But I still do have to get back to editing stuff for this channel because we've got that Patreon exclusive that's coming up. So that's going to be fun. We got that. So I've been teasing it. That's been fun. I think that's really been it though. It's just been a lot of busyness, just a lot of video work. Oh, I um successfully modded my 3DS, so I've been able to like find ways to record my DS and 3DS games through my actual copies. So I'll be able to make videos and stream stuff through that. Like we were actually talking about earlier, like the possibility of us doing Mario Kart 7 online and having somebody stream it. I will be able to do that in a way. It'll be weird to set up, but I think I should be able to figure something out with that. So it'll be fun. Yeah, that's pretty much it though.
How about you, Landon?
I haven't done much just because, like,
Dragon Quest Monsters took over your life.
I mean, yeah, I was playing a lot of Dragon Quest Monsters and trying to wrap that up. And then like playing Zelda 1 on the Game and Watch, like has been like the off thing I've been doing. And like we had an ice storm last week. So like I couldn't do much. I still went to work because I was able to get to my car and stuff, but like even like that was like fucking piss slow. So like I haven't really been doing like nothing really has happened since the last podcast, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's mostly
I
just
usually have
been
something fun.
yeah, it's mostly just been a lot of finishing up stuff for this podcast for us to be able to
Yeah.
talk a little bit more about for all three of us really.
Kari did have a concert just this last weekend. It was her final concert that she's doing with that group, and it was a good show. I went to the last showing of it, and it was very interesting. It was choir plus a dance group, and so it was cool. I enjoyed it. That was pretty much like the only thing I did out in the world, just because of everything. But yeah,
Yeah.
All right. So
I have a question though.
you do have a question.
If we're just gonna wrap up, were you
Yeah.
just about to wrap up?
I mean, we are about to we basically shared everything else, so what's your question?
Well, we didn't answer this. What's your top 5 favorite games you played?
Drew. That's tough.
We're doing a year in review.
That's tough.
Can you do it?
Is it like based on just the games from this past year or
Just the games you played.
just in general? Oh.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
So I think
Phantasy Star 4.
I want to order this. So like I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
that's fair. Yeah. Jack, do you have an idea?
I think my favorite game that I played this year was probably Super Mario Wonder. Like Tears of the Kingdom is great too, and that's solidly a second place, but like Mario Wonder was just like, I mean, I played all of it for one, and two, I had a really fun time streaming it, and it had a lot of unique levels, a lot of like really cool level design ideas, a lot of cool Wonder Seed gimmicks and all that. It's all good stuff. After that is Tears of the Kingdom. After that, probably like a recent entry, but Mario RPG has been very fun so far, and it's a new game to me, so I count it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm going to say I'm going to try to limit this to stuff that came out this year, but I'm including.
I said whatever you played this year. So
true, but also, yeah, I guess that's fair.
I'm going to go with just stuff I played this year because otherwise, I don't think my list would be cool.
I'll say Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Playing that all the way through was a really great time. And then I'd say Ghost Trick. Like, I could say Metroid Prime. Like, Metroid Prime is obviously like one of my 10, 5 maybe favorite games ever. But like, just I don't know. I just had it was a fun experience. I haven't played Ghost Trick in a very, very long time, and I don't remember a lot about it prior to streaming it, of course. But um yeah, no, I had a really fun time with it. So that's my 5.
Nice.
All right, so my 5 in order, counting down. Number 5, Dragon Ball Z Attack of the Saiyans.
Good answer.
Good game. I can't believe I never played it before this past year. That's a good game. Number 4, and this one could change retroactively. It's just because I haven't played enough of it, but I played a lot. Would be Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. I think it's just because I've been wowed by the other games that are above it more, but I mean, it's still really, really good. Number 3, Golden Sun. Like, that was... I can't believe it took me that long to get to Golden Sun. That's a really good game. I love that game now. Number 2, Super Mario Wonder. And that obviously leaves number 1 is Phantasy Star 4 at the end of the millennium, because, like, I can't sing praises enough. These are all games that I did finish for, or at least played a lot of for the first time this year. So I'll count them. I'll count what I played. So yeah, those are my 5.
All right. So mine, I would probably go. This is a little off the cuff. Attack of the Sands. That one was really good. I really enjoyed playing The Legend of Nayuta Boundless Trails. I'm probably going to put that over the other 2, just because I did play a good chunk of Trails from Zero in 2022, and I still haven't played like the back half of a Trails game, much like Ace Attorney is like the shit that really matters. I feel like, because that's where like a bunch of the major story happens. So like I'm not comfortable yet. Like, I don't know where I would place Azure in a Trails tier listing. Like, if you wanted me to rank it, I still don't know yet. So that's I'm not adding that. But like Boundless Trails, I had a lot of fun with. So that's easy number 4 slot. I'll probably go Fire Emblem Engage for my number 3. Actually, God damn it!
I was gonna say, there's so many games that you've been singing praises of. I mean,
there's 3 of them that are really good.
You still got DQ Monsters. You still got you didn't say Tears of the Kingdom yet, right?
No,
you didn't say Mario Wonder yet.
All right, I have to change this up a bit. Definitely not number 4. I probably is going to be a top 7 because I forgot some stuff and I didn't really think this out. So Attack of the Sands, Boundless Trails, Fire Emblem Engage. I'd probably go Dragon Quest Monsters after that. Real fun game. Tears of the Kingdom. Number 2, I'm going to go with Super Mario Wonder. And then number 1, Pikmin 4.
Yeah, that's fair.
Nice.
Yeah, I had to cop it out a little bit and add a couple slots, but
oh well.
Yeah, there's just 2023 had its fair share of solid games that released in it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I mean, from the ones I got to, like, I really enjoyed some good stuff. And then just because of the nature of us switching over to this, like to the podcast, where we're trying to play a little bit more, like just stuff to like talk about a series, especially like Cloud and myself. Not so much Jack.
God, I played.
He'll jump into some stuff.
I played so much freaking Mario Kart and Dragon Ball, and I'm getting ready to play so much Zelda coming up. This is gonna be fun times.
Yeah. like Cloud and I put it like Cloud did a lot more Dragon Ball than I did, but I played a good number of Dragon Ball games. So it's like I can't not talk about Attack of the Sands. It was a highlight of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like Persona 5 Tactica was also really fun, and I did enjoy my time with Reboot Camp. So like,
so now you got 9.
Squeak Squad.
You got 9 and there's
And
10.
Squeak Squad.
There's 10. There you go.
There's
You got top 10. You went the
I
whole
got a
extra
top 10.
mile. There
Yeah.
you go.
I did the full gambit. But I mean that's not even touching the stuff I streamed. But also like most of that stuff I'd already played. The only like there was like 3 games. Dragon Quest Treasures I'd count as a 2022. Like I just wrapped up the streams this year. But like The Devil in Me was fun. That was a fun like experience. Yeah.
That was.
So yeah. But yeah, like I think I had a solid 10.
All right.
Okay, that's all I had.
Yeah, we have been going for almost 3 hours now, so
This is not even the longest podcast. Come on, we could probably do some more.
This is not the longest podcast, but it's definitely been one of them. So thank you all for tuning in. Let's roll the outro. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.